10 seconds.
Not sure. They've
remaining.
got a very
thinking of
run-at-you
a-
lineup so far.
Are they thinking of a lifestealer or something like that?
5 seconds
Maybe.
remaining.
So far, they've got a decent amount of team fight. I like their lineup. It's kind of early and aggressive. What do you take if you're Keen? So I guess you just take your position 4. I don't know what I think the strongest position 4s are currently. I don't want them to pick Rubik. I think Shadow Demon Rubik is a pretty woeful support duo. I could even see something like a 4 Skywrath just as like a combo, yeah, with the Legion Commander. So they've at least got that going for them now. But this is sort of putting more eggs in the Legion Commander, like getting successful duels and scaling Basket. But I think that can work.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You want to have faith in your team, right? To be able to perform to their peak potential. You don't want to... I don't want to say sabotage your team by like not picking them a winning lineup, but you don't want to just have to completely, you know, rely on individual skill. You got to give them some sort of synergy, and I don't think it's too bad just to go for a quote-unquote simple combination like the Legion Sky.
Yeah, I think the only... Oh, I guess the... Maybe I'm thinking about this in the wrong way. Oh, what's up?
Clockwork's just hiding behind the shield right now.
Mars is so big when he's right in the front.
5 seconds.
But, yeah, I guess the nice thing as well is that since you've got the damage from the Skywrath Mage, the Legion can kind of go that slightly more utility-focused build that I would say has been a bit more popular recently, kind of getting your auras and things like that instead of relying on like a Blink Blade Mail or something and running around getting kills. Phantom Lancer comes in, nice hero to have against the Mars, not bad against the Clockwork. I think Ember used to have a better matchup against Phantom Lancer than he currently does, but still okay,
5 seconds remaining.
I guess, for the Ember these days, but...
Still okay. I think obviously it comes after this Clockwork pick, so you've got a couple of you know, team fight abilities that you're suddenly able to get out of. Well, 3 actually. You know, the arena, the cogs, as well as the Will-O-Wisp if you absolutely need to. Gives that little bit of evasive action. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some 4-staffs aplenty coming out from Keen Gaming to contest against this Clockwork.
Yeah, for sure. So now our question becomes, what is the mid lane matchup going to be? Is there the potential for the Ember to still be heading mid in this situation? The Puck ban kind of keeps things open. Puck certainly has pretty good matchup against the Ember Spirit. Ember not the strongest laner in the world, let's face it. And Lesh as the ban. Certainly a nice hero to have against the Phantom Lancer, and much more effective when, I guess, there's no Dazzle or anything. Necrophos comes in now.
I guess wanting to go for this burst damage against the Ember Spirit?
Yeah, I guess it is more lockdown. It seems okay here. Very sustainy. I would say that their lineup now looks a little bit greedy on the whole.
10 seconds remaining.
Keeper of the Light is definitely going to be buying a Glimmer Cape as fast as humanly possible. But
I mean, they could go something like a Storm Spirit in this.
Yeah, I think Storm Spirit could be okay. Maybe a little
against PL.
The only thing that would be a little bit weird then is that they just don't have building hitters at all.
Yeah.
They would have like 0 building damage, so it's a little bit concerning, but that's not really building damage either. Oh boy. It's been a while since I've seen a Tinker. I mean, certainly can be good against the Phantom Lancer, but this is a really interesting tack from Aster.
And what is going on in Dota these days?
Yeah, I don't understand.
It didn't even briefly enter my mind that a Tinker could have been a possibility, but they're going to go with it. Maybe try and punish some of these I suppose, longer team fights that Keen might be trying to go for.
Yeah, I guess Keen don't have particularly amazing siege either, but it's not like Aster have a lineup where they can just stall to the late game and win, right? So
we see a lot more Mars pick up things like the Desolator though, so maybe that's what they're banking on.
Yeah, he can certainly scale a bit, but yeah, this is a very interesting.
This is going to be a really long game, you reckon? Just because they can't finish?
Maybe.
Or at least longer, maybe like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I guess. I could still see a situation where one team ends up just beating the other one into submission, and then we see a GG even without a Rax being taken. I do think both teams kind of have that kind of a lineup. Like I think if things go badly for Aster, then their game can also just completely fall apart. They've got a bunch of relatively squishy heroes that need quite a bit of space to work with, and they don't have any ability to take these tier 1s. So if they kind of lose the lanes and just get stuck on their side of the map, I think they could quite easily just get ground out and picked to pieces, right? There's, especially with this, if the Legion Sky have a good game, they represent kill threat on every hero on Aster's side, no problem.
Yeah. Man, it really feels like Keen are going all in onto one, like, pick-off strategy with this, the Soul Catcher combined with the Reaper's Scythe and any other damage that might be coming through.
Yeah, there's a couple of combos in here. It's like, oh yeah, Necrophos plus Shadow Demon and Legion Commander plus Skywrath Mage. Nice. That's our lineup. But like I don't think these heroes line up nicely in terms of their timings. I think part of it, and I have to be honest with this, is I just don't have a ton of faith in Necrophos as a hero in general. Maybe that's a little bit on me, you know, maybe I just don't really understand it, or we don't see the hero as much, so I'm not feeling so confident, but yeah, I feel like I don't 100% understand what their lineup's timing is. Oh, Baboka trying to sneak up here and grab the rune away from Afu, but he is in the right place, so it looks like it is just going to be 2 taken at bottom, XXS having to take the time to go and grab both of these bounties. He's already got a stick picked up, anticipating that he is going to be laning against the Shadow Demon or even the Skywrath Mage, so it's going to be good value for him no matter what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a place for Necro, but not against this lineup. It's particularly, you know, heroes that you need to lock them down for a second, who are quite evasive, as well as just using that Heartstop Aurora to deal with high max HP targets, but don't really have any of those on Aster at this point.
Yeah, Aster have decent burst. They certainly have heroes that can buy Vessel. And they just have a few annoying spells, like in particular for Necro, like Clock just getting up in your face, Keeper of the Light maybe hitting you with the, you know, the Monoleak. It's just pain in the butt.
Yeah. The thing is as well, you know, let's say they use these coordinated abilities to great effect. Then what? Like, what if they have a buyback? Then you've got nothing for the next team fight, and that's where I feel like Keen are really going to struggle.
Nice cogs for Fade. Just getting a little bit of pushback here. XXS also with the God's Rebuke. So I guess the other thing to mention here is that you can spear to the cogs, right? So if you've got somebody trapped inside, you can just chuck the spear in there and get a guaranteed stun. What's happening top? So far CS going alright for Keen in these lanes. YDS spamming things back a little bit. And this Ember Caudal lane really going to take a little while to truly find its feet.
Once it does though, it's incredibly annoying, you know, just to be able to be comboed down over and over again. The harass starts to come out of control. And you have to spend a lot of your net worth just buying regen as opposed to actually advancing your build.
What do you think build-wise is going to be the plan for Ember this game? Like, is he going to get a point in chains early at all? Is it just Flame Guard, Sleight of Fist, sort of max farm, max harassment?
It's hard to say, right? Because you want to be able to stop all of this burst aggression coming through from the Skywrath as well as the Necro. Maybe once he starts wanting to fight, or he realizes that Necro will be wanting to fight himself.
Ooh, Afu getting gone on, but just gets pushed all the way back to his tower by XXS. I don't think that's what they were planning there, but he's going to be pretty happy with how that all turned out.
But yeah, you know, as opposed to just how your lane is going, it also will be heavily dependent on, you know, how good of a game is Necro having in the early stages.
And Necro is having a very good game so far, has to be said. 16-9 and Tinker only sitting at 7-4, so not having the best time. Of course, we'll be able to catch up a little bit later on with March of the Machines, but Yi is really putting it to Chuan at the beginning here.
Man, imagine if just sitting in the Ancients with your Heartstopper Aura was still a thing.
No, I don't even want to imagine. Actually, I don't even know if that was... The annoying thing about that was like actually kind of viable. I think more frustrating were like the jungle Nature's Prophets, or people pushing themselves onto cliffs with branches as like Dusa or Venomancer or something, and being like, I'm jungling. That was far worse in my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're doing nothing on the map. You're being useless. That's what's happening.
At least the AFK Necrophos like got decent item timings. It was actually strong enough to get nerfed compared to some of these other heinous jungle strategies that were never viable enough to receive any attention.
No, they just moved the high ground further away. That's just
right.
a direct nerf, you know?
My OP strategy is being countered. The developers just don't want me to do this. What's happening over here? So Skywrath contesting a little bit of farm. Let's see, and Keeper of the Light can't really put a lot of pressure on him, and is a bit of a net worth lead in Keen's favor so far. We got the bounty runes coming up in a second. I don't know how much they can do to contest this Clockwork over here. Maybe Afu can do something with a disruption or something like that, but Fade. Ooh, he's trying to decide, do I just want the rune? Do I want to go gank mid quickly? Does just grab the bounty and now maybe walking his way over. As Baboka actually manages to sneak past YDS, maybe using the blinding light nicely, and looks like he's going to grab both of these bounties at top. I think he might be dead, but still, nice little pickup for him.
And that was perfect taunt potential, though. No, there we go. He finally gets it off.
So what's happening now? So Shadow Demon is lurking mid because they know that Clockwork is missing.
SC's taking quite a bit of harass. You've got as well on the Legion Commander the full 10 stick charges, so he's happy to just sit in the lane and contest this, force SC back a little bit. He's run out of regen, so it's going to rely on, well, actually Keeper of the Light. Remember, he used his TP to go back to base.
Yeah, so he can't do a bottle refill currently. And the only person that could is if like Fade wanted to walk all the way back to the... Oh, that, or I guess they could get 6 on the Tinker, and then he could rearm some teleport scrolls and get out there to help out the Ember, but...
Getting really aggressive here with Yi. He's a full level ahead of this Tinker as well, so forcing the rotation through from Fade, which frees up a lot more space for this Phantom Lancer as well.
Yeah, it turns out this is actually a pretty damn good matchup for the Necrophos. He's doubling him up. So Fade just trying to hold onto this tower a little bit longer. Necrophos will just be going for a mech early on here, so really just an early fighting build. And what's happening over in the jungle? RDS making moves towards this mid lane. There are a couple little stacks for the Tinker, and Baboka getting some D-wards out here. This big camp is blocked, but it seems like they are still going to get the stack on the medium and the other big camp. So very nice farm coming to Tinker's way in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And SC. Alright, now he's going to have the Flame Guard back up. With a little bit of help, they're knocking the Skywrath over towards the tower, but it's busy killing off a couple of creeps here, and Legion Commander actually getting pretty aggro coming in. They're actually diving the tower. Nice glyph use. SC trying to survive, but here comes the dual fade. We'll be able to lock in the Skywrath Mage, so they're at least going to get that kill, it looks like. But Legion Commander should be fine to just walk this one off. Phase Boots back off cooldown, absolutely fine, and Tinker, not a whole lot that he can contribute at this early stage.
Yeah, I thought they'd done that really well with Keen, to be honest. When all of that stacking was happening, and a lot of the aggression was happening throughout the map, Afu was checking the tri-camp just to see if there was any stacks there, made sure that there was absolutely nothing going on, but then when you see Tinker missing for a solid minute, you would have to know that the stacks are in another sort of area, and they didn't seem to want to do anything to contest it, so a little bit of an odd choice.
Can they contest this deep, though? This is a terrifying place to come and fight the...
It is, but like, worst case, it's nighttime, right? And you can even just stand nearby and at least soak up some of the experience.
Right.
Like, because you know he's there. There's nowhere else he could be.
Yeah, he's definitely playing on this left side. He's not going to bother going over to the tri-camp area. Can't do anything about the Ancients. Legion Commander running in here now. Still only level 4 on the Skywrath Mage. They are making a little bit of an attempt to contest. Afu popping down another Observer, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to get dewarded as soon as they catch a glimpse of it. Legion Commander just trying to muscle through this mid-tier 1 tower. Would be an awesome pickup if Keen could get it here. And is that already... Do they already have the full mech on the Necrophos? They do. So he is really getting the ball rolling quickly this game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Absolutely. He's gone in deep. He's got the movement speed as well, so he's going to have that chase down potential with the Heartstop Aurora, and talk about heroes that just are able to stay in these team fights and make a lot of stuff happen. He got clipped by the end of the Illuminate there, so he knows Keeper of the Light's at least stacking up some camps, and come on. They just deward their own camp? Okay, good. It's dodging it a little bit.
Ooh, they're looking towards SC at bottom. He's pretty healthy, but they're just going from tower to tower. Aster really not able to put up much of a fight just yet. Desperately trying to get up these boots of travel on the Tinker.
Bobica?
Getting kind of run at. I think he should be fine. Very speedy on this Keeper of the Light. Both teams getting experience at the 10-minute mark. A couple of bounty runes being grabbed. It's mostly going to be on Fade. And these supports should be able to get their level 6 shortly. And Tinker now has the Boots of Travel, so a bit more map mobility available, but he's being scouted out by the Legion Commander. Should be some easy dual damage, and rack it up to 20.
Yeah, very deadly, and he's going into this Blade Mail build as well, so he's even able to just walk in the middle of the March of the Machines eventually. He's going to be pretty healthy with all the sorts of save that can come out from his team, the sustain from the Mechanism as well as the Necrophos, and then if worst comes to worst, you've also got the Disruption.
PL still just holding everything down at bottom with his Hood of Defiance regen. Really no way to drive him out of this lane. So we'll have to see how Aster are able to keep the space going for the Tinker. Able to be a bit more mobile now, and Necrophos a little bit low on life and on mana, importantly. As Fade just going to try and snag this level 6 off of the Siege Wagon. Does get it. Legion Commander completely holding down the mid lane. And Keen with a fairly decent lead at this early stage. Farming up.
Getting some nice stat items as well through Orb. They've gone in onto the Legion Commander.
So maybe a little bit too far forward. Big rotation from Aster. 4 heroes here, but Legion's still pretty tanky, and YDS coming in for the assist. SC jumps forward aggressively. Skywrath almost dead. And one more jump forward from SC will do it. Disruption buying a couple of seconds, and Legion did manage to tank through everything, but
yeah,
still something grabbed for Aster with that first hook shot.
Heavy commitment onto him, and just a little bit of fear coming from Aster as well. You know, he turned on that Blade Mail and everyone straight up stopped attacking.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're really not in the situation with their heroes where they can just be bursting a Blade Mail. Ember is going to be going for a Battle Fury here, so it seems like Aster going back to some of the older playbooks about how to deal with the Phantom Lancer, and they are giving SC the stacks for the time being, as Tinker going to try and take some of the slightly more dangerous farm on the map. He can damage these Ancients, but it's just incredibly slow to do anything about it. So it looks like that Dragon's going to be chilling there for a while, and Necrophos did get pushed away from top, but he can muscle through the top tier 1 eventually. And this is what I was a little bit worried about, just sort of the map space slowly getting constricted on Aster. Though they should be able to stem the bleeding now that they've got the Boots of Travel. Just keep on spamming.
I'm really liking this by Keen though. They know exactly where the stacks are. They're wanting to take them ASAP. Scouted out a little by Faith.
Completely splitting the wickets there. They are getting in on top of the Necrophos though. Can they keep him alive? He's still got the Ghost Shred. He's still got the mech. This is a lot of HP for him. Tinker bursting down the Legion Commander. Can they get the dual damage for SC? Looks like they couldn't quite. But still a double kill for Trion, and not the place for Keen to be fighting. All of Aster able to turn up for that fight.
Yeah, I mean, just holding back on both the Mechanism as well as the Reaper's Scythe means that when those combos do eventually come through,
they got more.
Absolutely nothing to deal with it.
Well, YDS does get the kill on the Clockwork, but gonna pay for this one with his life. Afu comes over trying to help out, but too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit too keen, honestly. When you've got a Ember Spirit that you're going up against, the last thing that you want to do when he's building into this Battle Fury is feed him this extra little kill. Sure, it's nice for the Skywrath, but Ember Spirit's the one that's going to be carrying this game for Aster.
Yeah, and despite a slow start, it does seem like SC going to kind of stick the landing. There are so many stacks just around the place for him to be cleaning up. Of course, nice Tinker also absorbing a lot of the map. Necrophos is walking top all by himself. There is a 4-man hit squad waiting for him. Nobody is anywhere nearby to help. He's stunned inside of the cogs, and down he goes.
Still didn't use his mech either, which I thought was a little bit odd.
I think he was dead no matter what, but it would be nice to use the active on this
Get
item.
That value.
Yeah. Waste a little bit more of their time. How's PL doing? Quick PL check. Still working on his Diffusal Blade currently. SC back behind the tower, taking a little bit of farm in here. Legion has this Blade Mail and has had it for a little bit, but the progression has slowed somewhat. And XXS, nice spear all the way back into the waiting SCC. Blade Mail gets popped, but another chain's coming through, and easy kill for Aster as they're just picking off Keen here, there, and everywhere. Where are their supports? The Skywrath is not really playing with the Legion Commander. Keen look a bit lost, to be honest.
They seem a lot lost to me, and it's going to get even worse now, considering the Ember Spirit. He's getting closer and closer to that full max Slide of Fist, so you're going to have the double combo as soon as the Keeper of the Light uses the Chakra Magic on him.
Yeah, it's so much control. And SC picking up the last hit on this bottom tower, so getting closer and closer to this Battle Fury. Fade ready with another hook shot at mid. Goes straight in, on top of this Necrophos. Surviving a little bit longer, could potentially get the Scythe. That Fade's still pretty tanky though. Scythe should be coming soon, but there's the Will-O-Wisp, and Necrophos just getting burned down. Defensive Disruption to help keep him alive. They will get the Silence onto the Mars, so he can't get the Arena of Blood down. But the Tinker is coming back in for round 2, and the damage is just going to keep on ticking out. The Blade Mail does get popped, so Tinker needs to be somewhat careful with these rockets, but Keen losing a lot of life. Erica comes in hoping for the fight as they do get the lockdown onto the Ember, bringing him down. Fade trying with the defensive cogs, but now the Scythe finds him, and Fade and SCCC overstepping their bounds on that fight, and will both get punished for it.
Finally able to take him down again, held on to that mechanism for the longest time, nearly died solo to a Clockwork and some Tinker rockets, but it's a bit of a scary proposition. Able to turn it around though, and more importantly, these kills going onto the valuable targets with both the Necro and the PL picking it up, as well as Erica getting that 3-kill streak from the Ember Spirit.
So Keen's seemingly just trying to hit a pretty early timing here. Legion Commander queuing up. Blink into BKB. The Necrophos is just continuing to tank up. He's going to be going for a pipe after finishing up these Guardian Greaves. And haven't seen what Phantom Lancer is planning on, but has already picked up the Diffusal Blade. This Hood of Defiance really seems to just become a complete staple for the PL as he finds out Baboka, and that'll be a super quick kill for him. XXS wanted to help out, but now the PL's latched on top of him. And Tinker going for a lot of little items. Full Kaya now for Qian, and also going to be going for the Aetherlands. So, going to be a little while until we see anything like an Ags or a Hex for him.
Well, speaking of that, Aetherlands, it's something the Shadow Demon is building too, which I think is fine. You want to make sure that your key heroes, especially the Necro, are surviving for a long time in these engagements, but I don't know, it just seems a little bit odd for more so the Skywrath to be going into a Shadow Blade. Surely a Force Staff is something better.
Yeah, I really think that they need a Force Staff. I guess the plan is, hey, I'm going to be able to scout with my Shadow Blade, and then my Legion can blink in, and we can get those combo kills, but I don't know about that. I guess we'll just have to see how it works out. Might change his mind. Caudle is rushing the Glimmer Cape that I was talking about. XXS has a full pipe, and now just going back for a Vlad, so getting some early utility items here for himself, as SC is still trying to finish up this Battle Fury. Doesn't have it just yet.
He's close. 19, 20 minutes is not the best, but not horrible either.
But it does seem like Keen are just buying up a bunch of little items and hoping to hit a timing and close out the game before the Tinker becomes too much of a problem, because he is really going to give the Phantom Lancer a hard time later on. Necrophos standing his ground to get the silence onto the Mars. He's taking decent damage. They do get the jump in duel. Is it going to be enough here to bring him down? Scythe also dropped in his head, but he's not dead yet. XXS, can he get the Arena of Blood out? He can. Fade walking through into it as the Will-O-Wisp is also controlling them. They just need Tinker to rejoin this fight for a little bit more damage. Fade chasing after the Legion Commander, but he can't finish him off, and SC once again walks into the fight, just gets silenced and mowed down. Now they're chasing for more. Fade might be able to pop the stick and get a Cogs off, but it's just too much damage from the Phantom Lancer, and Keen Gaming taking pretty easy 3-for-0 there.
Yeah, way too much to do with. Finishes up his Battle Fury, but not enough to turn that team fight around. Like you said, he just TP'd in, walked forward, actually got the Chakra Magic on him after being silenced, so he hadn't even cast any sort of spells, and just everything went wrong for Aster in that one.
Yeah, it really just needs to try and hang back and keep on spamming out these chains, but somehow getting caught pretty much every single time. Phantom Lancer now #1 on the net worth, still just working on that S&Y. It's still going to be difficult to push in an end against the Tinker, but at least with the the Greaves and the pipe, should be able to make some kind of an attempt at it, though. This tier 1 tower is still standing bottom. Testament to how annoying the Tinker is going to be this game in terms of Keen trying to close it out. Are you with the Dota Plus win probability here? 81-19?
No, I think Aster's got a chance to come back into this. The thing is with Keen, with their item build, it's very much win now or have a tough time later on. And I'm not a big fan of any sort of item build that relies on the other team to screw up. I much prefer seeing, just something that's strong at all aspects, basically.
What have they found? They're looking for Ember. Yeah, they're really trying to muscle down this this mid tier 1. Necrophos has been holding his ground here for the longest time, but also their bottom tower is just getting hit by this siege creep, and they're refusing staunchly to send anybody back to bottom to defend this. What are they going to get? Are they going to try and walk into Roche? Okay, that does seem to be the plan, but this is feels a little bit slow from Keen, and Dire going to realize very quickly what's going on here, just scanning it out, and Aster heading over with all of their teamfight ultimates available. So long as they can keep the Tinker safe, this is a pretty good place for them to fight, and the Necrophos not very healthy on the mana. SC pokes his head forward, just needs to not get caught. He's got a two-man chains down. Here comes the Chakra, another chains coming up. Necrophos getting pinned to the wall. Good defensive disruption from Afu. He's just able to reach in there and keep him protected. The Ignis Fadis in the middle of the fight. Necrophos pops the Ghost Shroud in the back lines. Baboka getting gone on, but he just TPs out. Erica in pretty deep. SCCC needs to get this Remnant away. He's just going to try for the TP out. He also gets it. XXS getting left out on an island a little bit as Keen will continue the pursuit. The Tinker should be looking for his TP back in. He's just waiting for the mana. Hook shot now from Fade. Catches them from the back lines. Two heroes locked down. The disruption coming through. That will be a dual win for your Legion Commander as Mara stands his ground fighting up against the Phantom Lancer, but he gets scythed down. SCCC looking for another slight, but it's so much damage. He is just getting chunked by the PL and he is now dead. Tinker, no mana, needs to reset as Fade closes off the ramp, pops down the cogs, and that will be the end of this fight, at least for now. Ends up being, what, 3 for 1 with a buyback on the Clockwork, and Keen heading back into the Roshan pit.
Yeah, all of this aggression, all this damage being done by the PL, it's something that at this point, the Ember Spirit's just not able to deal with it. He wants to be sitting back on the back sides, but he just keeps getting caught in the middle of these team fights, wanting to make something happen.
And with that, Keen will take the Roshan, pick up the Aegis, go for an immediate smoke. Tinker is trying to keep these lanes shoved out, and Chion does have a full 3.5k gold in his coffers. He's already picked up the Aether Lens recipe, but is he actually going to complete the full lens, or maybe thinks needs to get the Aghanim Scepter a little bit earlier? SC just forced to take a little jump back here at mid. Things would be looking very different if he had a similar net worth to, say, the PL, but with just this Battle Fury in his inventory, he's really not contributing that much.
Yeah, it's the type of thing where, what's he going next? He's going into the BKB just to be able to deal with the mana burn that's coming out. That's the biggest thing that's hindering him in these team fights.
Yeah, that and having to play around the silence, right? It's just... But even the BKB is not going to be a panacea for him, because there's still the duel, there's still the Reaper's Scythe for lockdown. Oh, Fade catching in onto the Legion Commander. Nice stun. Necrophos trying with the save. He's got the Greaves, he's got the Pipe, and now they've got the duel. They're looking for the turnaround, and I think they will get it. That's a dual victory there on the backlines. Phantom Lancer just tears the Keeper of the Light in half, and they've already lost the Tinker. He was in the midst of all of this, and he's already dead. XXS now getting caught, silenced up, chased down. He will be joining the rest of his comrades back in the fountain. Scythe waiting for him. SC hoping to get that tier 1 tower in the mid lane, but unable to do so. And this Keen Gaming push, they do not have a creep wave, so they will not be able to make anything further of this, but completely mopping up Aster there.
Grabs everything. I'm really liking this BKB build up as well, so stops any sort of retreat that they might be trying to do. It means that you can lock down a Tinker just for that extra split second. It's all you need for this squishy Keen folk to
BKB or Basher?
Sorry, the PL's got the Basher now.
Yeah, you said BKB. I was like, who's?
Oh,
I was clicking right everywhere. I was like, who's buying BKB? What's the? Anyway. Yeah, definitely this PL is just doing so much damage. I got so used to seeing the Aghanims build from was it Monet just buying it every single. There's a couple of Phantom Lancer players yesterday just buying Ags every single time, but I think that this build is definitely what the doctor called for in this situation.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I feel like you don't really need that Ags build this game. At least not in the early stages. You know, you've got enough with the rest of your team of lockdown, with the duel, with the Reaper's Scythe, with the disruption, that you can get in the right sort of positions.
Tinker, well, still needs another 1500 gold to get the Ags. That is going to be a really big boost for him once he gets it, though. I guess the thing we're going to have to see is... Oh, Clockwork's dead. Gonna have to see if the sustain from the Necrophos is going to be enough to get them up onto the high ground against the Tinker. That's got to be what they're hoping for, but we'll have to see how it works out in practice.
Well, he's got a Radiance coming out to him on the Necro.
Yeah, taking a second to grab, I guess, just a little bit more of a farming item. Planning on, if this game goes late, this sort of guarantees his 6th slot. And just nice to have on the Necro in general, right?
Against the Ember Spirit, it rips through that Flame Guard.
Yeah, and it just gets you random creep kills and stuff during fights. It just gives you more sustain. It's pretty nice. So Keen really starting to lock down the map, trying to keep some wards out. They do spot both Fade and SC moving into position up on top, and might be able to get one of these two. Immediate jump with the press the attack. Fade's trying to chop his way through the trees there, and okay, we'll be able to TP back, but they are not letting... Ooh, and Tinker's getting camped! YDS with his Shadow Blade and the high ground ward has done it. He's taken out the Tinker. He even set himself up perfectly in those trees. No way to get out of the Mystic Flare. Oh no.
Man, this greed it's too much for me.
The Shadow...
It's working.
What,
yeah,
the Shadow Blade?
I hate it.
Yeah. He didn't even really need the Shadow Blade there because he was just smoked on the wave, I'm pretty sure, but... anyway, let's see if Aster can hold for 30 seconds. They do not want to use this Tinker buyback. Tinker cannot buy back here. There's just no way. He needs to get the Aghanim Scepter. They do have a Glyph available, and they do have pretty decent spam, so they should be able to hold it. They clear out the creep wave. Couple slight chains going over to the Necrophos. Erica comes forward now.
The one bonus for Aster right now is that the Aegis was just reclaimed on the PL, so they've got this team fight potential where if they can take him out, it's going to be a huge victory for him.
But Tinker has to be so cautious now. After you die like that, you're like, what waves can I even TP to? I guess so long as he's not TPing where any of the Tinker ward spots are, then should kind of be okay. As Aster actually going for a smoke, maybe hoping to catch somebody out, looking to camp a Tinker on the respawn, but Keen Gaming doing well. They're all playing together. The Phantom Lancer's a little bit further afield, but he's already got a full Abyssal Blade. Oh my word. This Phantom Lancer is absolutely terrifying, and they need so much work out of the Tinker. Just needs a couple more CS to get this Ags. He's heading back to grab it, should be able to join his team after that. They're controlling the outpost to try and fight around here. They didn't get the Slight Chains combination. SC will get it the second time around. The BKB gets popped. Ember Spirit popping his BKB. Instead, they're just focusing onto the Mars. The Will-O-Wisp protecting a little bit. Tinker looking for his opportunity. Backlines. SC looking to focus onto the supports, but he gets Abyssal Bladed, and now he's going to get Reaper Scythe down. Dead for 100. Tinker still doing the work. He's got the mana. Baboka helping him out. Fade now jumping in. These lasers stacking up. Afu with the defensive disruption, but it's actually YDS in the backlines. He's found the Tinker. He's got the silence, and he's doing his job. GG gets called. Aster, as soon as the Tinker dies, they know that they have had enough, and they're just going to go game 3.
And the instant DC as well by Baboka. They're feeling a little bit salty about that one. Just a lot of things not going their way. It felt like SC was being ripped through like paper in every single team fight. And yeah, the Demonic Purge as well becoming in such handy with the Shadow Demon, you know? You're not able to constantly zip around these team fights. You can't just have the movement speed, have your Flame Guard ticking out onto people. It makes you extremely squishy, and punishing that early first pick by Team Aster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had some misgivings about Safe Lane Ember. I believed, Dano, you told me that the Keeper of the Light plus Ember makes the Ember safe lane work, and I don't even think it was necessarily the fault of the Ember so much as SC just getting overconfident in a couple of these fights and not respecting the lockdown potential that Keen had.
Yeah, especially with the item build that he went, you needed someone to create space for you, and when you're comboing it together with a last pick Tinker, that's something that also needs another hero to create space for you, where, you know, in past drafts, we've seen things like the Death Prophet, the Dragon Knight. Those are things that can actually create pressure on the map. And there just wasn't any of that this time around for Aster.
Yeah, Ember just needed to farm. Clock was... I think the other thing was that Fade was... One, he couldn't really kill bottom. I mean, that they tried to pressure Afu a little bit, but they had no chance of really pressuring Erica. And then, at the same time, he was desperately trying to salvage mid lane, because it turned out the Tinker just had a woeful... pretty woeful 1v1 matchup against the Necrophos. So, just tough situation all around. They didn't have enough resources, didn't have the ability to take the buildings, and overall just a weird draft that I think they'll look back on, and we'll probably see something much more stable for game number 3.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be up to a decider one. Will Keen be able to win their first series of the CDA League? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, catch you guys back here in just a couple minutes.